Look, you are likely consuming something every single day that is quietly eroding your ability to focus, driving up your anxiety, and, to be honest, making you less effective in your own life. And here's the thing, it isn't an accident. It is a carefully refined system designed to hijack your attention. In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain on this digital toxin and show you exactly how it's reorganizing your brain. And more importantly, I'm going to give you the perspective you need to take back control of your mind. Let's get into it. So, you see, most people don't even realize they're consuming this digital screen toxin. It looks harmless, right? Even appealing. It's interesting. It's helpful at times. It's just a quick scroll, a headline, or a short video. Honestly, it feels like a few seconds to check in and quench some inner thirst. But almost immediately, something shifts. Your mind tightens just a bit. Your anxiety ticks up. You feel pulled, reactive, and less settled. Actually, your attention starts to scatter and your patience shortens. Here's the reality. That isn't random. That is the direct effect of what you're consuming. Then there's the hook most people miss. A headline pulls you in, and suddenly you're either agreeing with it or pushing against it. For a moment you feel justified, validated, maybe even a little energized by it. But certainly that sense of being right often feeds the very irritation or discontent that keeps you coming back. Individually, these moments seem small, but repeated over the course of a day, they create an emotional roller coaster, subtle spikes of reaction and a steady erosion of your calm and control. So why do we keep going back to it? Understand, this is not just affecting how you feel, it is conditioning how your brain works. Your filtering system, the reticular activating system, is being reset over and over. It's being trained to look for what is new, urgent, and emotionally charged. And here's the thing, the muscle of sustained attention, the ability to stay with something meaningful begins to weaken. Depth starts to feel harder. Distraction starts to feel normal. Look, this isn't about personal weakness. It's about conditioning. The truth is, we live in a time where some of the most capable minds in the world are being paid to capture and hold your attention. They are refining systems daily to keep you engaged and reactive. Actually, the formula is quite simple. Deliver something new, deliver it quickly, tie it to an emotion, especially outrage or curiosity, then repeat. Believe me, your brain adapts. It begins to expect speed. Stillness becomes harder to tolerate. This is where people get it wrong. They think they have a focus problem when in reality they have just been training their attention in the wrong direction. So what is the hidden price of all this? Well, it's a brain that struggles with depth. When your attention is repeatedly pulled towards shallow input, your brain reorganizes around that pattern. That is how neuroplasticity works. What gets lost is not just time, it's capacity. Think about it. The ability to stay with something long enough to do meaningful work, the patience required for deeper thinking, the satisfaction that comes from real progress. Honestly, this is what it looks like when the brain has been trained toward the shallows. It happens gradually until depth feels like a chore. And certainly there are social and emotional costs here too. This doesn't just reshape your attention, it reshapes how you relate to people. When your brain is repeatedly pulled into quick judgments and simplified narratives, it becomes easier to label and dismiss people than to actually understand them. You see others through a narrower lens. The space for curiosity shrinks. The willingness to listen fades. Over time, this creates distance. Relationships lose their nuance. And instead of feeling more connected, many people end up feeling more divided and less at ease. So how do we take responsibility for our mental energy? Well, the goal isn't to eliminate all information. The goal is to stop unconsciously consuming what is quietly working against you. First, recognize it for what it is. Not everything that grabs your attention deserves it. Second, interrupt the pattern earlier. Catch yourself at the moment you reach for the phone, not after you've already been pulled in. And third, rebuild your tolerance for depth. Stay with things longer, read, think, and work without constant interruption. It will feel slower at first. Good. That is how your brain begins to reset and regain stability. Ultimately, you have to choose carefully. This type of toxin is not labeled dangerous. If it were, no one would consume it. It seems appealing, and it offers something immediate. But here's the thing. The cost is not in the moment. The cost is in what those moments bring when they gain ownership over your attention. Look, your attention is one of your most valuable resources. It shapes how you think, how you feel, and how you live. When you give it away too easily, you aren't just losing time, you're giving up control over your own mind. If you're ready to rebuild that focus, visit us at capitaldistrictneurofeedback.com and let's talk about how to get your brain back on track.
This has been the NeuroShift podcast. The episode description includes a link to contact Dr. Kale. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for our next episode.